There is a war happening right now, not with swords or armies, but in the minds of men. It is a battle between those who truly think and those who simply follow. The world does not belong to the strongest or the loudest. It belongs to those who have learned the art of deep thinking. Yet few take the time to wrestle with great ideas, to let wisdom shape their souls. Instead, they are carried by every wind of opinion, never anchoring themselves to anything solid. If you wish to change your life, you must become a person who thinks deeply. And thinking deeply does not mean merely filling your mind with information. It means questioning, seeking, turning thoughts over in your soul until they burn with clarity. It means resisting the temptation to be shallow, to accept easy answers. It is looking at the world not just as it is, but as it could be. The man who thinks deeply walks through life with a different step. He is not easily swayed, not shaken by the chaos of the moment. He sees beyond the surface, discerns the true nature of things, and speaks with wisdom when others are lost in noise. But deep thinking requires effort. It demands silence. It requires one to sit alone with their thoughts, to step away from distractions, to embrace the discomfort of reflection. Most people fear silence because in silence they come face to face with themselves. But those who master this habit will find that, in the quiet, truth speaks. If you make this a daily practice, to think deeply, to seek wisdom, to question, to reflect, you will find that you are no longer merely existing, you are truly living, and the course of your life will be changed forever. There are two kinds of people in this world, those who constantly see what is missing, and those who see what is already there. The first group lives in a constant state of lack, always chasing what they do not have, always waiting for the next thing to make them happy. But the second group, those who practice unwavering gratitude, have discovered a secret. Joy is not found in having more, but in recognizing the treasure already in their hands. Gratitude is not a weak sentimental feeling, it is a warrior's mindset. It is the refusal to be a prisoner of complaint, the defiance of despair. It is standing in the middle of hardship and still choosing to say, "I am blessed." It is looking at a storm and saying, "Even here, I will find something to be thankful for." But gratitude is not natural. The human heart is wired to see what is wrong, to focus on what is missing, to crave more. That is why it must be trained, disciplined. And the training is simple yet difficult. Each day, before your mind is drowned in worries, force yourself to see the good. Say it out loud, write it down, let it shape your thinking. And when troubles come, as they surely will, search for something to be grateful for in the midst of them. This is not denial, this is power. Because the one who can find gratitude in every circumstance cannot be broken. He may lose much, but he will never lose himself. He may walk through fire, but he will not be consumed. And in the end, while others waste their lives chasing happiness, he will have already found it. The world is louder than ever. Every second, something fights for your attention. Notifications, headlines, flashing screens, endless noise, and most people surrender. They live in a constant state of reaction, their minds pulled in 100 directions, never truly present, never truly still. But a distracted mind is a powerless mind. It is a mind that cannot think deeply, cannot hear truth, cannot see clearly. If you want to change your life, you must learn the rare and powerful habit of stillness. You must learn to turn off the noise and sit in the quiet, not just physically, but mentally. You must train yourself to resist the urge to check, to scroll, to fill every empty space with distractions. Stillness is where clarity is found. It is where wisdom speaks. It is where you realize what truly matters and what is merely a distraction dressed as urgency. The strongest minds, the most unshakable souls, are not those who consume the most information, but those who know when to step away and listen. But stillness does not come easily. The world will tempt you with 1,000 reasons to stay distracted. It will tell you that busyness equals productivity, that filling your mind with endless information makes you wiser, do not believe it. True power comes from those who can sit in silence and hear what others miss. So, each day, set aside time to be still. Not just to be alone, but to disconnect, to breathe, to think, to listen. Do this, and you will find that you are no longer tossed by every wave of distraction. You will walk through life with a deeper focus, a sharper mind, and a strength that the world does not understand. A man who does not read is no different from a man who cannot read. Yet, in a world drowning in information, true wisdom is scarce. Most people consume words endlessly, news, gossip, social media, but they do not feed their minds with truth that endures. They know the latest trends, but they do not know the principles that have stood the test of time. If you want to change your life, make it a habit to read wisdom daily. Not just any words, but the kind that have shaped great men and women throughout history. Read books that have endured, words that carry weight, thoughts that sharpen the mind and ignite the soul. Read the writings of those who saw further, who thought deeper, who understood the nature of life beyond the distractions of their age. Why? Because the mind is a garden, and what you plant in it determines what will grow. If you fill it with fleeting entertainment, you will reap shallowness. If you fill it with wisdom, you will reap strength, discernment, and vision. The man who reads deeply does not need to chase every opinion, for he stands on the foundation of tested truth. But reading alone is not enough. You must think on what you read. Let the words challenge you, let them change you. Do not just collect knowledge, apply it. A single sentence of truth, truly understood and lived out, is worth more than 1,000 pages skimmed and forgotten. Make it a discipline. Set aside time daily, even if just a few minutes, to read something that stretches your mind and soul. Over time, these words will shape your thinking, your decisions, your character. And when others are lost in the noise of the moment, you will stand firm, guided by wisdom that never fades. Words are not merely sounds, they are forces. They build, they destroy, they inspire, they wound. A single word spoken at the right time has changed the course of history. And yet, most people treat words carelessly, speaking without thought, filling the air with noise instead of meaning. They talk to be heard rather than to bring truth. But those who learn to speak with purpose and power shape the world around them. If you want to change your life, you must discipline your tongue. Do not waste words. Do not speak merely to fill silence. Do not let your speech be filled with complaint, gossip, or shallow opinions. Instead, make every word count. Speak with clarity, with wisdom, with conviction. This does not mean speaking more. Often, it means speaking less. It means resisting the urge to respond without thinking. It means pausing before you speak, weighing your words, and ensuring they serve a purpose. It means using words to lift others, to speak truth, to cut through deception, to bring light where there is darkness. A person who speaks with power does not need to raise their voice. Their words carry weight because they are chosen with care. They do not react like everyone else. They do not join in empty chatter. They know that words shape destinies, and they treat them accordingly. Train yourself in this habit. Be slow to speak, quick to listen, and when you do speak, let your words carry meaning. Over time, you will find that people listen differently when you speak. They will hear wisdom in your voice, even in your silence, and you will wield the kind of power that does not come from volume, but from truth. Every morning, two kinds of people rise from their beds: those who drift into the day and those who charge into it like warriors. The first group wakes up sluggish, reactive, waiting to see what the day will bring. The second group wakes up with purpose, knowing that each day is a battlefield, and they must be ready to fight. If you want to change your life, stop waking up passively. Begin each morning with the mindset of a warrior. Before the world's distractions pull at you, set your focus. Before doubts whisper in your mind, silence them with determination. Do not start your day in a haze of laziness, checking your phone, scrolling through nonsense, wasting the most valuable hours of your life. Start it with discipline. The strongest people in history, leaders, thinkers, visionaries, understood this. They did not wait for motivation, they commanded their will into action. They woke up knowing that comfort is an enemy and that greatness is forged in small, unseen choices. So, train yourself. The moment you wake up, move, stretch, breathe deeply, set your mind on what must be done. Speak words of strength over yourself. Decide that you will not merely react to the day, you will conquer it. Over time, this habit will change you. You will no longer be a prisoner of procrastination or fleeting emotions. You will be a person of action, of resilience, of unshakable resolve. And when others wonder how you have become so strong, so focused, so unstoppable, they will not see that it all began in the quiet moments of the morning, when you chose to rise, not just from sleep, but from weakness. The path of least resistance is wide, and many walk upon it. It is comfortable, easy, and requires nothing of you. But it also leads nowhere. The strongest men and women in history were not shaped by ease, but by struggle. They did not run from challenges, they sought them out. They understood that growth is never found in comfort. If you want to change your life, you must make discomfort your ally. This does not mean seeking misery, but understanding that the hard road is the one that builds you. When faced with two choices, one easy, one difficult, train yourself to lean into the harder one. Choose the path that demands more from you, the one that stretches you beyond what you thought possible. The world tells you to avoid struggle, to find shortcuts, to seek pleasure first. Do not listen. The easy road only produces weakness. It robs you of the strength, discipline, and resilience that come from doing hard things. It is in the moments of challenge, when your body aches, when your mind screams to quit, when everything in you wants to take the easy way, that true transformation happens. Start with small choices. Push yourself beyond comfort in your daily routines. Wake up earlier, work harder than expected. Say no to the things that waste your time. Face fears instead of avoiding them. Over time, this habit will shape you into someone unbreakable. While others shrink at obstacles, you will face them head on. And one day you will look back and see that the very things you once avoided, the struggles, the difficulties, the hardships, were the very things that built you into the person you were meant to be. The world is filled with people who take, those who always ask, always expect, always seek to gain but never to give. They live with their hands outstretched, not in generosity, but in hunger for more. And yet, these are the emptiest souls of all. Because a life built on taking is a life that never truly overflows. If you want to change your life, learn the power of giving. Not just when it is convenient, not just when it is easy, but as a way of life. Give your time, give your wisdom, give kindness, encouragement, strength. Pour into others, not because you expect something in return, but because true abundance is found in what you give, not just in what you receive. This is not weakness, it is strength. The selfish man thinks he is gaining, but in the end he loses. The one who gives, however, becomes richer in ways that cannot be measured by numbers. He builds relationships that last. He walks through life with a heart unburdened by greed. He is not enslaved by the endless pursuit of more, because he already knows the secret. The fullest hands are the ones that give. But giving is not always easy. It requires sacrifice. It means choosing generosity even when you are tired, even when you feel unseen. It means investing in others even when you do not immediately see the reward. But over time, this habit will shape your soul. You will become a person who carries light wherever you go, a person whose presence strengthens others. And in the end, when your days are measured, you will not be remembered for what you took. You will be remembered for what you gave. The mind is the battlefield where victory or defeat is decided long before actions take place. Yet most people leave their minds unguarded, allowing anything and everything to enter. Fear, doubt, negativity, distraction. They let the voices of the world shape their thinking, unaware that what enters their mind will one day define their life. If you want to change your life, you must guard your mind as if it were a fortress. Not everything deserves entry. Not every opinion is worth listening to. Not every thought deserves space in your soul. Be ruthless about what you allow inside, because the ideas you entertain will shape your beliefs, and your beliefs will determine your destiny. This means rejecting negativity before it takes root. It means silencing the voice of doubt before it becomes a stronghold. It means refusing to dwell on failure, self-pity, or the lies that tell you you are not enough. It means choosing to fill your mind with truth, wisdom, and strength. Most people do not fail because of circumstances. They fail because they allow weak, fearful thoughts to dominate their minds. They accept the world's narrative instead of shaping their own. But those who guard their minds, who discipline their thoughts, who meditate on what is true and good, walk through life with unshakable confidence. Make this a habit. Be intentional about what you read, what you watch, who you listen to. Cut off anything that poisons your thinking. Train your mind to focus on what builds, not what destroys. Over time, this discipline will transform you. While others are controlled by fear and confusion, you will stand firm, immovable, because your mind is fortified by truth. Emotions are powerful. They can drive a man to greatness or destroy him completely. They have built kingdoms and torn them down. They have led men into battle and into ruin. And yet, most people let their emotions control them, tossing them from anger to despair, from fear to impulsive decisions. But the strongest among us, the ones who truly change their lives, are not those who lack emotion, but those who master it. If you want to change your life, you must learn to rule over your emotions. This does not mean suppressing them or pretending they do not exist. It means recognizing them, understanding them, but never allowing them to dictate your actions. A person who is controlled by feelings is like a ship without a captain, tossed by every wave, unable to chart a course. Anger will come, but do not let it drive you to foolishness. Fear will whisper, but do not let it keep you from action. Sadness will weigh you down, but do not let it make you forget the strength inside you. Even joy, when uncontrolled, can lead to carelessness. Emotions are like fire. They can warm a home or burn it to the ground. The difference is control. Mastering your emotions starts with awareness. When you feel overwhelmed, step back, breathe. Ask yourself, is this feeling based on truth, or is it a passing storm? Will this emotion lead me to wisdom, or will it lead me to regret? Learn to pause before reacting. Learn to separate feeling from fact. Learn to choose discipline over impulse. With time, this habit will transform you. While others are prisoners to their emotions, you will walk through life with steadiness, clarity, and control. You will not be easily provoked, easily discouraged, or easily swayed. And that is where true power lies, not in never feeling, but in never being ruled by what you feel. Your life is not built in a single moment. It is shaped by the habits you choose, the disciplines you embrace, the mindset you cultivate every day. Most people drift through life, waiting for change to happen to them. They wait for motivation, for opportunity, for some grand event to transform them. But the truth is, transformation does not come from waiting, it comes from deciding. The habits you build will either strengthen you or weaken you. They will either lead you toward the life you were meant to live or steal it from you, one small compromise at a time. The difference between those who rise and those who remain the same is not talent, luck, or circumstance. It is the daily choices they make when no one is watching. So, ask yourself, will you wake up with purpose or drift into the day? Will you guard your mind or allow the world to shape it? Will you master your emotions or let them master you? Will you seek comfort or will you embrace challenge? This is not about temporary inspiration. It is about who you are becoming. And in the end, your future will not be determined by fate, but by the habits you choose today. Choose wisely. Choose strength. Choose the path that few take, but that leads to a life of meaning, purpose, and greatness.